going to be a bit of a nightmare with the audio, guys. Right, hopefully you guys can hear me. We're gonna be designing the Mutt Garage tournament. What are we doing? Right, streaming. Yeah, streaming seems to be online. I mean, it says it's unstable, but I mean, it's always unstable for me. Tell you what, let's turn the music off. Okay, right. Who's that in the chat? Whoever's in the chat, can you let me know? Can you hear me? Is everything alright on that end? Stop moving to an empty chat, fill it with. Ah, cool. So glad I've got some fucking bot in the chat. Right, let's do this. So let's get rid of poach cam for this one. Right, we've put a different camera on because we're going to be doing something slightly different for this stream. And we're going to I have to apologize because the camera is on the mic arm, so it's actually more of a display one. All right, let's see if I can tidy this up. We're looking. I mean, I think that looks all right. It's not too bad. Get changed quickly. It's all right. Okay. Someone come and join my chat so I stop getting these bloody bots everywhere. What's that for? Where's Cystic when you need him? They may be on the way. Well, I can't fucking hear them, can I? Got the internet guys coming over apparently. So I have to go open. I have to go open the door. Hold on. Right. Okay. So let's get this going. Designing the Mac. Wow. Okay, right. Looks like we've now connected finally. Right. Hopefully you guys can hear me, all right? Because we're using a bit of a different format. So anyone who knows me knows I've got a whiteboard and I love to use it. So turn this camera slightly here. Which way is it going to be? This way. Right. How are we getting on? Could do it being a bit further away, to be honest. I might have to turn. Might have to change the audio input to MacBook Pro. Right, how's that? Okay, I had to change it because basically what I'm doing is I'm using my microphone arm to put the camera on there so you guys can see what's going on with this camera. Right, okay. Well, that seems to do all right. Seems to be, I mean, it's very reflective. Hopefully, let's see. I reckon that should be all right. Okay. Let me close the curtain. How's that? Get the reflection gone. If we do this, let's go camera. And let's put a color correction on. Right, we're gonna have a dark. It's a bit too. My turn. I reckon that'll be fine. Anyways, so we've got this one. What other one we've got? We've got this one. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see. All right, well, we're gonna go with the camera on the arm. It's a bit low quality, but we'll just have to work it out. Okay. So I've got a big whiteboard and I like to use it, so we're gonna be using it. I've been ban the bot. Yeah, I'll ban the bot, don't worry. It was the only person in my chat talking to me, mate, so I was lonely. Let's get rid of him. Mod icons. Ban Jack Skinny. Cool. All right. So we're just having a chat on Vanity Projects stream, and they're trying to work out what order in which we build the Muckgarah tournament. The problem is we've got 24. We've got 24 players for the Muckgarah tournament. All good, brother. Imp, can you see the stream? Imp, can you see the stream? Because mine, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this. Might be in DDoS or something. What's going on? Restart the stream a couple of times. Do you know what it is? I've got someone trying to fix my internet, and I think what they're doing is they're restarting the internet, which is annoying. You can see me. I can't even see me. Oh, here we go. I can see me now. Right. What we got? Oh, we got 3 people in the chat. That's good. We've got 3 people in the chat. That's good. Okay, right. Okay, right. I'll go from where yeah, I'm just making sure because they're meant to be coming round. But the problem in Bali is they never tell you when they're going to be round. They just turn up at your door, and I've got no doorbell. So how the fuck am I meant to know they're there? Right. I'll break it down for everyone. So the main issue that we've currently got with the Matt Garra tournament is we've got 24 players that want to play in the tournament. And the way that it works, we are doing our 1v1, right? One versus one. This is not going to work for 24 players because you might think to yourself, well, 24 players, everyone can 1v1 and it's pretty easy going. Well, that's not how it works mathematically. And you're going to have a situation where people are going to end up having to be either automatically pushed forward, or we turn around and say, well, how do we structure it in a way where they can't just be pushed forward? So I'll explain the way that why this is specifically a problem. You have your final fight. You've got the final fight, which is a 1v1. So in that 1v1, you've got the winner of this fight and the winner of this fight. So you have essentially, let's do it properly. You've got, so this box here is the 1v1 for the win, right? This comes from the winner of this fight, which is this 1v1. So you've got this one and this one. The winner of that goes on to the 1v1, right? The same for this one is you've got a 1v1 here, this one and this one. Whoever wins this goes on for the final. So this is basically how it's going to work. In the final, you need, we'll do it this side because I can't reach all the way over there. You're going to have two people in the final. So in order to have two people in the final, there needs to be a winner of two other matches, which means you're going to have one, two, three, four people in your semi-final. So for those four people, they each have their own respective matches that they would have had to win, right? And the problem is I think people are looking at this of the 24 working from 24 and going forwards, where you need to work it from the end and go backwards. So you have the same again here, where in order to get your semi-final, you've got your quarter-final, which is 8 people. All right, they've got their own. And then you've got that to get your 8 people, you need your round of 16, which is these here, each having their own 1v1s. And you see, this continues on, right? All the way down. But the problem lies in the next section. This is the problem, right? So you've got your final is 2 people, you've got your semi-finals is 4, quarterfinals is 8, then you've got your round of 16. So to get your quarterfinals, you have to have a round of 16. For round of 16, you need 32 people. And here, that's where your problem lies, because you can't get 16 people from 24 if you need 1v1s. So we need to work out, how do we get down to 16 from 24 people? So the problem that we need to look at is, how do we get fights going on where we've got 24 people and we need to get to 16? In my mind, I'm thinking, why is it not updating this title? Hold on. So for this to work, I'm thinking we maybe have to do 8 verse 8 verse 8. 8, 16, 24. Something like this. And this is what I'm just trying to work out in my head at the moment of, we need to lose 8 people. Right? We need to get rid of 8. So then we've got our 16. So then how do we lose 8 people out of 24? So it's 1 in every 3 people we need to get rid of. I would say if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so bear with me. This is how I'm seeing it. So if we've got group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7, and group 8. Right. If we have 3 people in each of the groups, we basically have to lose. You need a first, second, and third, pretty much. So then you need to find out. So if you've got 3 players, if you've got 3 players, in theory, the problem is like the tournament's going to go on quite a long time. The fastest option would be it's a good idea. You then have just got to solve who's the final winner from the 3 finalists of that 3 by 8 bracket. Yeah, so now it's just thinking about, okay, what is a way that we can use to determine between 3 people, how do we get number 1 and 2? So let's just clear this up. So I think we're all clear of what the problem is, right? So, hello, what's that? Yes. So Harry's just walked into a whole whiteboard full of numbers. Right, we're going to go and we've got to work out.
We're almost collecting my cats before 5.
Okay, love.
2 hours.
Okay, thank you. Right, so our issue. So the issue is, how do we determine it's not even the winner. It's not even the winner you have to determine. You have to determine the loser of 3 people. Because we're not looking for a winner of the 3. We just need to lose one of them. So then we've got player 1, player 2, player 3 in a group. So the reality is, if for instance, right, we did player 1 versus player 2 versus player 3, right? We can't do player 1 versus 2, the winner plays player 3. So what we in theory could do is you do 1 versus 2, you do 1 versus 3, and then you do 2 versus, so 1v2, 1v3, 2v3. So each player in the group does 2 fights. So 1 is there. So 1 is these, 2 is these, and then 3 is these. So then you've got, so if 1 wins both his fights, he goes through. But if each of them only, so if they win him, fucking hell, this is doing my brain in. So we'll do it the football analogy way, right? So a win equals 3 points. A lose equals 1 point. No, a lose equals 0 points. You can't really draw, is the thing. So let's say, for instance, if one wins both their games and they get 6, that means the other two, if they won each of theirs, they'd have 3 and 3. Oh God, this is a fucker, isn't it? The problem is, right? What you don't want to you don't want to have two winners. Like it doesn't. It's not really beneficial. Someone has to lose, so someone will be knocked out once they've played each other. It's just brain burning. Well, yeah, this is exactly it. Because the problem you've got is if all of them have to do 2 fights, right? So let's do it this way, right? You've got you've got everyone has two duels, right? So they'll either finish with a win-win, a win-lose, or 2 losers. So if you've got 6 fights, that means that you've so 6 fights, and it's 2 per person. So each person, so in order if number 1 wins both their games, that means that 2 and 3 have got a loss, right? Because 1 would play against 2 and 3. So then if 2 and 3 win, so 2 and 3 would be against each other. So 1 would win and the other would lose. So you'd have, let's say, for instance, 2 wins, 1 win, 1 loss, and 2 losses. Yeah, but this is the thing, right? So let's say, for like argument's sake, right? Number 1 wins 1 and loses another. So he wins against 2 but loses against 3, for instance, right? So we'll do this hypothetical. You've got number 1, number 2, number 3, right? Number 1 wins his fight against 2, which means they lose. Then he loses his fight against 3. But then 2 wins against 3. You're in a fucking draw again. Everyone's drawing. Do you know what I genuinely think we should do, in my view? I think you just do a roll off. I think you do a roll off, and I think you say, you roll, and you do 1 to 100, right? So we roll 1 to 100, right? The winner, right, is third. Yeah. So the winner is third place. That means, so let's say if number 1, if player 1 wins the roll, player 1 then becomes third. That means that player 2 and 3 have to fight against each other. The winner of this plays against 1. Do best of 3 rather than best of 2 duels. Hold on, let's do. The problem we've got is this tournament is going to go on for hours if we do that, but we'll see, right? So here's an option, right? So maybe you roll. Let's do best of 3, right? So we know that we need to lose 1 person. So if we say best of 3, so you say, right, you got round 1, round 2, round 3. So for instance, if we say we've got wait, how do you do best of 3 rather than 2 duels each? It doesn't make sense because who's the third? Like, who'd you go against? If we said, let me think, hold on. It's a tough one, isn't it? The problem is it's not going to be fair, is the issue. Like once you get to 16, right, I tell you what, why don't we do this actually? Player one versus two 3 times, score of 2 wins. Yeah, but the problem you've got, right, is you've got player one versus two is going to duel 3 times. And how long is that going to take? And all of these fights happen one after the other, not concurrent. Otherwise, it'll be a lot faster. So then you've got to eliminate these 8 players, you've got like what, 3 duels per 2 people. But then you've got 24 people. So you've got 12 lots of 3 duels, 36 duels just to get to the last 16. I think it's not viable. What I do think though is if we did, if we do 3 individual tournaments. So if we do this, right? So you've got your final, which is 2 people, and then you've got hold on. Sorry, my brain. Right, so you've got your final, then you've got your semi-final, and then you've got your quarterfinals. So if this is 2 people, and then this is 4 people, this is 8 people, right? So then why don't you do it this way then? So you need to come up with a winner based on their skill, not just RNG roll. Yeah, exactly. It's not fair to do RNG. So why don't we do this then, right? So why don't we have group one? Group one is there, right? So you've got 2, 4, 8. Then we do the same again, and we have group two, and they do their own tournament, right? So you have 2, 4, and 8, right? Then you have group three. So then group three, you have 2, 4, and 8. So then what happens is 2, 4, 6. So then, why don't we do this? Okay, so what we do is we have 3 different groups, right? And you get to the end of your group stage as the winner, right? So then you get to group 1, 2, 3. So you get to the end. I suppose we come back to the same issue per se, but it's a lot easier if you do it with the winner of each group. So then you end up having everyone's got an 8-person tournament they do in their own groups, right? Then you've got the winner of group one, the winner of group two, and the winner of group three, right? So now we are down to only 3 people. We haven't got 24 people doing like shitloads of duels. So now we say group one, group two, group three, right? You do they fight against each other. They fight against each other. And they fight against each other. So you've got 1v2, 1v3, 2v3, and 2v1. Right, so each of the people, let's get rid of this person. Cool. So then what happens is, so you have a winner of each of the different groups, right? And they play off against each other. So then they have what? They have two fights each. Right. So you have fight one and fight two. If for whatever reason we have a let's say we have win, lose, and draw. We have so we have a winner and a loser, right? Then we have, let's say, a loser and a winner. Loser, winner. Hold on, it would be fucking hell. My brain, mate. Do you know, it's the same. We come down to the same conundrum at the end of it. We have three people and we need to eliminate. We don't even need to eliminate one of them. We need to eliminate two. So we say we've got round one, which will be, let's say, 1v2, and then got round two, which is 1 versus 3, and then you've got 2 versus 3. So you've got 3 duels at the end of it. Yeah. So you got 3 at the end of it. I've just had a great idea. No, it's not going to work. I did, yeah. God, this is really tough, isn't it? Let me get some AI assistance. So, I'm running a tournament with 3 groups of 8 people, ending up with 3 winners of their respective groups. We then have winner 1, winner 2, and winner 3 needing to compete in a 1 versus 1 against each other. How do we create a scoring system that allows there to be a definitive winner in the event that each winner wins 1 and loses 1? Well, you do group 1 versus group 2, group 2 versus group 3, then the Mac and the winner of group 3 gets his fair chance of fighting the winner of that one. So you do 1v2 and 2v3. Oh my god! Oh my god! It is a mass problem. Hold on. 6. Wait then. If you do, you've got 24. 24 over 4 is 6. Over 4 is 6. 6 split into 3 over 3 equals 2. So then you have group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Each of those has 6 people in it. Those 6 are split into 3. Oh my god, I think I've done it. I think I've worked it out. 6, and then you've got 2, 2, 2. right? These guys 1v1, these guys 1v1, these guys 1v1. And then these guys do the same. So you've got 3 and 3, 3 and 3. And then you put these three together. So then these three versus these. So group 1 versus group 2. And then you have group 3 versus group 4. Right. So you've got these go up. Oh my God, I think we've done it. Who was that who just put it? Nemis. You gave me the idea. Right. This is how it's going to work out. Okay. I think we've got it now. I think we've got it. So we've got we've got group 1, we've got group 2, group 3, and we've got group 4. Right. In these groups, they have each of these has 6 people. Right. Those 6 people, they have there's 3 fights, which of 1v1s. So then you've got A, B, and C. Right. So you have the winner of A, the winner of B, and the winner of C, right? So group 1, that's what they have. Then you have group 2, they have the same, right? So they have A, B, and C, right? They've got theirs. And then what happens is, so we do, let's make sure we've got the numbers correct. So then you end up with, you've got 3 here, 3 here, and you've got 3 here, and 3 here. So then these 3 will face off against each other. So then you end up with, oh, fuck, it's going to be 3 again. Wait, group rounds. Group rounds. Oh my God. Oh, that's not going to work really. That's going to be a bit of a fucking faff. So much for Hmm. Yeah, dude, do you know what it is? Like when you start getting your head into it, you're like, man, I need a piece of, I'm gonna be on the piece of paper. You need like a tiebreaker kind of vibe. Okay, what about this? Okay, what about I like this format. Right, I like this format. What about if we do, so you have the winner of each of these groups versus off against each other, right? And you've got, so these 3, so you end up with these 3 versus these 3, which goes down like this until you've got 3 here and 3 here. Now these guys have to fight each other. The problem is like we're doing Mutgaravas, right? You want to see as much death as possible. It's the problem is it's like it's not like you can do multiple rounds when you're doing Mat Garage. Like you can't do like best of three and shit like that. It just doesn't work. So if we have these three versus these three, and then we end up with the final three, we just need to determine out of these final three who fights each other. Yeah, but the thing is with a regular duel, yeah, we need to work out who goes first. So of these three, the final three. I like this format though. I think it's a good format because instead of it being regular duel creates a losers bracket. Um, because the reason I like this, right, is because you've got group one and group two, right? What this does especially when it comes to streaming, right, is you end up having teams. So you end up having group one, they're three, right? They can strategize together against group two, is the difference. Group three versus group four. So these guys are against each other, and then these guys against each other. And the reason I say that is because if you are in group one and group two, you know at some point you're going to get group three or four coming down, right? So you can say, right, well, who's in the other group? What does that look like for us? Okay, well, if I'm in group one and then I'm against group two, and group two has got someone who's like a dangerous PvPer, I'm like, right, I want to talk with my guys in group one about how do we get like the last three here. This is when the strategy will come in here. When it's three versus three. So this stage here, so what's that? The second stage of the tournament, you'll start getting strategy come in here because three versus three is group one versus group two. You want to work out with your team how do we knock out the people who are the most dangerous because you're going to end up going against them soon. And then it's like, or alternatively, sorry, you want to work out who do you want to win, who do you want to lose, because they then become your teammates here and they go against these three. So if you've got someone who is shit on this side of the team, right, you're going to make sure you want to get rid of them. But if they're good, you want to make sure that your team member loses. So there's going to be a lot of, there's a lot of shadow play, like underhand cards and whatnot. Because then basically, out of these three, you form a new team here. And you three are going against these three. And the thing is, like, if you've got someone else in the other team who is a hard player, you want to help your teammate knock them out because you probably want to play against your teammate here than the other person. So it's gonna get a lot of strategies. That's why I want it to be these team formats. The question is when we get to here, the finals, the Triwizard Tournament final. How do we determine who goes first in the Mutt Garage? As a viewer, how I'm supposed to keep up with that? Easy. We need a commentator. We need to get a commentator. But we'll go through it. We'll go through it one by one. Don't worry. I'll make the table so it's very visually easy to understand. We just need to work out when you get to the final and there's three people left. How do we decide who goes first out of all of it? Because at this stage there's no one else. Everyone's dead. It's all Mutt Garage. Unless unless we get someone who can decide the difference. Oh, I've got a bloody great idea. We just do a collab stream or something, and we have like a streamers poll. Actually, I'm not sure, because if you've got someone who isn't a big streamer, oh no, I don't know, because yeah, I'll get 32 players. That's probably the easiest way. You have yeah, either we gain 8 players or we fuck off 8 players is the issue. The thing is, how quick can we get 8 players in? We've got what? I think it's what? It's like yeah, but to fairly fuck off 8 people, yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I've worked it out. Although I need to tell people this. You do the last 3 by playtime. Whoever's got the lowest playtime in the final, they get to go through. Oh my god, that is a great thing. You can't be cutting at any players. Dude. No. Okay. So we do this, yeah? We do lowest playtime. Lowest playtime gets the buy. That's the fairest way to do it. Someone who's got to the final with the lowest amount of playtime, so the least amount of cheesing, boosting, by all accounts should be the worst odds. That lowest player gets a buy to the final. That's how we're gonna do it. That is fair. Especially like when you look at people who are like grinding and grinding and grinding for hours and hours and hours. If you get someone who's got absolutely lowest play time, 18 players duel, 8 players, 8 winners. Yeah, but then how do you do the 18 players who duel? No, no, it's just the problem is, right, it's the 8 duels, because people are going to be prepping until like the last minute. So that's the problem you're going to have. Though them 8 losers fight the other 8 and the 8 winners from the 16 duels. Yeah, but then who are the 16 duels? Do you know what I mean? Like it will just go on and on. I genuinely think you get to the final, and whoever's got the lowest play time gets a skip. We need more people on. We need like Johnny and Sweat and Vanity on. That's my way of doing it. Is lowest play time. Whoever hits the final with the lowest play time gets yeah, lowest play time gets to skip the buy. That's the thing, is like it's so, I mean, even now though, right, we've got 60 hours, right? You could re-roll a level 10 and go and just smash it out in like 3 hours and go whatever I got in 3 hours. If I get to that final, I skip like one of the hardest fights. How do you know they're telling the truth? We'd verify it. So look at it this way, right? We everyone would send in verification of longest play time. It's only going to be 3 people, right? All 3 people are probably going to be streamers. So everyone just does /play time on their screen, send in a screenshot to Discord, whatever it is. The reality is, if someone lies about it and gets the buy and they end up winning, then they just get disqualified. But the thing is, again, this kind of comes back to the whole thing with Matt Garra. It is about the spirit of the game. If you're going to get to the final and be a twat and lie about it, fuck off. You won't come to the next Matt Garra. Like, you have to be a dick to get to the final, lie about the one deciding factor, and then win it. And then basically what will happen is, because there's money on the line and stuff, I believe, like 100 Aussie dollars or something, you just won't get it. You won't get the Aussie dollars. Like, we'll verify everything when the final duel finishes, because if this person's disqualified, then it's the winner of the first two people. I genuinely think lowest play time. I don't know if you've got a gear score on. Do we have gear score on Classic? I would do lowest play time and lowest gear score, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like the person who kind of took the risk, went above, like the odds to try and win it by scraping their way through. I think that is going to be the way to build out this tournament, because this whole player A, player B thing is not going to work the way they're building it at the moment. You need to do it like this for that to work. That's my view. Let me know your thoughts. Eliminate 8 with dual tourneys and then make the map graph of 16. That's the fairest based on PvP skill. Right, let me take a picture of this. Or yeah, I'll take a picture of it. Hold on. Right, I'll put it in the Discord for the Macgara thing. And then we'll talk through Nimbus Div's solution. Because we have to consider all the options. So where are we at? We got Vanity, Macgara. Right, so let's go. We'll go again. Right, guys. Also, any other options, any other solutions and things? Let's talk it through. Because you may think, oh, I'm just being daft, or I don't want to, I don't want to put my comment out there. Whatever it is, you might be the person who actually has the best idea. So, no idea is a stupid idea until I look at it and tell you it's a stupid idea. But I'm very open-minded as a person. I'm always looking for collaboration, and I like things to be done in the spirit of the game. So anything that you think would improve the tournament and its authenticity, let me know. Right, let's work this one out. So we're going to roll back on Nimbus's conversation. Right, 32 players. Right, so you're saying prior to the 16 tournament, everyone does a duel. Right. Okay, let me get your chat up higher. Right. I've got you on big screen. Talk me through it. Right. We'll walk through it. So I'm just gonna stretch because my legs are killing me. Right. Eliminate 8 with dual tourneys, then do Mac tourney for the 16. It's the fairest based on a PvP skill. So you start off getting 16 players to duel each other over the 8 winners. Over the 8 winners to go through. Then the 8 losers from the round duel the remaining 8, and the winners of that are 8. Fucking hell, mate! I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with keeping tabs of stuff, but I'll have to write it out because I don't know what this means. So we've got we'll take it step by step. So you start off getting 16 players to duel each other. So 16 players. Tell me this, right? So 16 players duel each other. How do we decide those 16 players? Is the first question. randomly. Okay. So we do this. So we do random gen, which I can do. That's easy. I can pull that quite easily. So random generated. So you've got 16 people who have fought, and you've got 8 not duelled. Talk me through the 8. So you've got 16 players. You've got your 8 winners, and you've got your 8 losers. You've got 8 people who haven't had a fight yet. Then the 8 not duelled fight the 8 losers. So then you have these 8 versus these 8 who have lost. Okay. Leaving a total of 16 winners, they do the McGrath tournament. So, can I play devil's advocate with this situation? Because I know this is what will come up, or I assume this is what will come up when this happens, right? 8 losers have 2 opportunities. So you have 8 losers get 2 opportunities to go through. So you've got your 8 winners, they're fine, they won. 8 losers, right? Fight. So they've had a fight here. Now they're having a fight here. So they've got 2 opportunities to win and go through. So what happens to the 8 here that lose, and they turn around and go, well, how's that fair? I lost 1 duel, they lost the first duel, but won the second one and went through. How does that work? Because they beat you. Yeah, but they lost to someone else. So if they lost, they've already lost, right? So the way you see this, right, you've got 8 losers, and we'll call them 8 endings, right? If an ND loses, right, they're out. But one of these guys has already lost, and they didn't go out, so they got another fight to try and win. So if I was in the ND group, right, and I was fighting someone who had already lost to someone else, and they managed to beat me, I'd be like, well, how is that fair that they got 2 fights and I only got 1? Because the reality is, if they lost their duel here, they should have just been gone. Do you know what I mean? But then they beat the person who lost. If the person who lost won, then it wouldn't. I feel like you're going to get pushback on this. I honestly like. We need. I tell you what, we do need. We need more. We need people who are in the MAC tournament to be in this chat, because we're going to need a lot of people. So it's based on finding the best person for PvP skill, not averaging and giving everyone the best opportunity. Yeah, but it's going to be based on fairness. Is the problem? This is why, right? So the way that I look at this situation is, you're trying to make sure that you not only are things entertaining, because what you don't want to do is you don't have burnout for viewers. It's kind of like watching the boxing, and you've got your main event. You've got your big final, and it's on at 11 o'clock in England. This is how it works. So in England, it's 11 o'clock is your main event for boxing. But you can start watching the boxing at 5 p.m. because you've got all your undercards. So then what happens is, it starts, in theory, the boxing starts at 5 p.m. Right? No one's watching this at 5 p.m. You might get people coming in at 8 p.m. They start watching because all of the people who don't, like, no one really knows, they've already had fights and they've got rid of it. People start coming in at 8 p.m. because the big names are playing. And then when 11 p.m. comes along, everyone's watching because this is your main event. This is potentially the problem you're going to have with Your 5 p.m. slot is your duels, right? You've got your duels. You're going to be doing what is it? 16 duels. You got 16 fights before we're doing any Muck tournaments. So by the time you've done your 60, and you got to remember as well, these fights have to be like, they have to be, what's the word? They have to be running singular. They can't all run at the same time, because the whole point of this is that it's, it's a streamers event, and we want to make sure that everything is being sort of watched. So the reality is, you got 16 duels where people have to watch to see what's happening, and like, things like that. You get down to your Muck Garage, where you've actually got your final 16. You've probably been streaming it for about 2 or 3 hours. And that's the thing is, and you got to remember as well that people who are doing the tournaments, might want to be using all their time to prep. They don't want to come 2 hours early to come and do some duels. Do you know what I mean? So that's the thing we have to take into consideration. Like, I like the idea of it. This bit is the only bit that's going to cause friction, because you can guarantee someone's gonna just it's fairly eliminated. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna. Yeah, but it's okay. So look at it this way, right? Another thing I just thought about. You're saying, okay, well, you need to eliminate 8 people from the Matgara, but people are making these characters not to keep the characters; they're making them to have a Matgara. So if they get knocked out in the qualifier rounds for the duels, they're going to be like, well, I made all that effort to create a character to do a Matgara, like the excitement of a Matgara, and I didn't even get through the duel stage because there was just a numbers problem. I think that for me is where there's also going to be that kind of discrepancy. Honestly, I genuinely think, and I think it will be good to get votes from everyone. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, Vanity's not got a lot of time. Um, I think and obviously I'm biased. Like, it's a biased view because I'm the one who thought about it. And to be honest, like, I look at this as like it was a bit of a community build up to it. Um, because I took ideas from different people, like Nimis with the breakdowns and things, putting it all together. The reality that I see is, how do we make it so that everyone gets to have a Matgara, but like, because the issue is that the numbers are shit numbers. Either we find 8 more people to make new characters, or we go, how do we deal with the situation for what it is? Finding 8 random people to do, like, to build Matgara characters in the next 2 days, is a bit of an ask. Like, who's going to be doing that? Everyone's going to want to make their Matgaras. My view would be, how do we use the numbers we've got right now in the fairest way possible? And I genuinely think running almost 4 mini tournaments, and the only people you've got to deal with then when it comes to the fairness aspect is the last 3 people. And if we say whoever's got the lowest playtime, so whoever's put like the least amount of cheese, grind, X, Y, and Z into it, put in the trade chat for randoms and put a prefix in the name, so they have to make the character now, or viewers. Yeah, it's tough, mate. It's tough. I think the point was for viewers. I think the whole idea was doing it for viewers. Um, and also the thing I have to remember is, like, I'm helping on this. It's not really my tournament. I can't be making the sweeping decisions and things. Like, there was a registration form on Google that had to be filled in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've done is said, oh, I can help you out with the numbers and give my view on what I would see as the best solution. Unfortunately, I can't. Like, I even that is not a decision made; it's a suggestion. So I think for now, let's go with both. Right, we'll go when Vanity's online, we can bring him in and say, look, this is kind of where we're at the moment. The problem you've got is you've got 8 people that it's gonna cause a bit of an issue with. Um, So yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. I will build out. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to wait until we decide what the hell we're going to do. But I will build out in the spreadsheet the way that it would look if we decided to kind of go down the 4 mini tournaments. So yeah, I mean, is there before we kind of try and wrap this up? Is anyone else got any ideas of how we can? So in theory, we've got option one is 4 mini tournaments and one by lowest played. All right. Number two, we've got 16 qualifier, 16 qualifier duels, then Mac 16 tournament, or find 8 new entries for the Mac. This is what we've got so far. Yo, Posy, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you, man. So yeah, this is what we've got so far. I'm at a friend, so I can't play. All good, brother. All good. No, it's good. Nice to have you in a chat, man. We are just discussing how to get this Mac Garage tournament to work, because the problem we've got is they're an odd number of people. So where there's an odd number of people, the problem is that you either get down to final three. I said love, bitch. Yo, love, man. Chill, chill. Yeah, the problem is the maths ain't mathing. That's the problem. So yeah, we've had a bit of a stab at it. We've got this is a boxing analogy. Don't have to worry about this. But we basically got to a stage where we say, okay, we can either do a qualifying duel format, or we do 4 mini tournaments and the final 3 players, whoever has the lowest play time gets basically the freebie. Thanks, brother. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, we'll catch up. I'll play with you soon, man. So yeah, we basically just have 100%. What I might do, dude, is I might do I'm gonna tie this up. I need to go get the kittens from the vet soon. Yeah, I need to go get the kittens from the vets in the next hour or so. And then I reckon I'll probably play later on. I've got to do my Mac character as well, let alone just sorting the bloody tournament out. So yeah, that's the options we've got at the moment. We've got the 4 mini tournaments and then one by. So in the finals, you can have the winners of each 3 groups. There's 3 remaining players, and whoever has the lowest play time at that point, they get to basically see the other 2 fight first. That is the only fair way that I can find to do this. The problem with what Nimbus is suggesting is it works out in terms of doing like qualifiers and stuff works out. The problem we have is time. So we're kind of battling against both. Like Nimbus has got options for doing qualifier duels, which can work, but we don't have the luxury of a lot of time. So that's kind of where we're at the moment, is we've got those options, or you find 8 more people to do the Mac tournament and then it becomes really easy. But then you start diluting the quality. Like we wanted it to be like a very viewer friendly, people, like rather than just randos in a trade chat. Because also you have to remember, we can't validate if we've got random people joining. We don't know if they've been boosted. Like the rule is like all greens only, like no boosts, no quest items from dungeons. Like we can't, like when there's more and more people involved, the quality of the tournament and the regulation of it basically becomes a problem. So that would be my only pushback to finding 8 more people for the Mac tournament, unless they are unless they're streamers or if they're, you know, like consistent viewers or something. So yeah, I think that's where we're at the moment. Has anyone got any thoughts? Anything we haven't thought about just yet? Let me see if ChatGPT's got any solutions. This is so the fights are 1 versus 1 to the death. So there isn't options for best of 3, etc. That's what ChatGPT is telling us. Anyone's got any ideas that we haven't thought about? Drop it in the chat and we'll run it through. Like, if you can talk it through with us, then someone goes to no. No, that's not going to work. I think 1's going to be the best option so far. I think 1. The problem is the fact that we don't have the time and luxury to sit there and do multiple rounds. Randomly choose a finalist. I mean, the way that I see it is, you need a deciding factor, right? So, I think obviously, what I'll do is I'll take a picture of this because I want to put it in the Discord as well, because I want to make sure that everyone has a look through and sees what we're doing and then having a view. Like even ChatGPT said, you got to be careful because people will start arguing when you do like randomized solutions and things. Put it in the disc channel. Right, the main problem we need to find now, realistically, is how do we make deciding factors, right? So ChatGPT is telling us, right? No, do not do coin flips. So don't do coin flips. Don't do. So it says don't do group stage stats. So it's saying don't do things like best of 2, best of 3, blah blah blah, this and the other. Can't do things like damaged out or anything like that. Random. So it says don't do random seeding. So for anyone who doesn't know what random seeding is, effectively, it basically says choose 8 people at random and they all go through to round 2. That's the most, that pisses everyone off. Door, please. Give me 1 sec, guys. Hold on. Right, we're back. So, ideally skill based, but how are you going to govern that? So okay, let's. So in terms of skill based, what does that look like? Because the thing is, right, with it's a PvP tournament, and it's trying to work out. Okay, what's going to be a way that we determine skill factors, but without without it being like a 4 5 hour bloody tournament. That's the issue we've got. The reality is, like, if we had the time, we could go through and do like loads of loads of duels and like X, Y, and Z and whatever. The reality is, it's a Mac tournament for a reason. People want to see players get killed, and if I make a Mac character and get all the way there, and I get to the stage where it's like, okay, well, you've got a duel first, and then actually you don't even do a map afterwards anyway. It's like, all right, great. If an RNG matches a 20-year sweat versus a retail man who's been playing hardcore for 2 weeks, it's not a fair matchup. The thing is, I don't know the rate. Like, okay, for instance, right? I haven't PvP'd in 20 years, and I'm up against Johnny Sweatpants, and my understanding is Johnny's quite good. The reality is, that's just shit luck. That's how it is. That is the point of randomization. Is like you might have it where you get someone who, okay, look at it this way, right? Imagine if in every group there is someone who is good and someone who is bad, right? And you have equal matchups and this and the other. Or you have someone who is an average player who gets matched up with really bad players, and all the really good players get taken out. The point of randomization is like you want to get to the very final, and you don't necessarily want to just have like the two best PvPers making it to the end. Like that's literally why the World Cup works the way the World Cup works. So the idea behind it is you might have, let's say in round two, you might have the two big heavyweights. No, no, no. That's not what seeding is. Seeding is as well. Let me just double check it. I want to make sure. So just to be clear on the term seeding, does this mean randomly selected matchups, or does this mean uh, do you know what? I'm just going to ask. What does the term random seeding advantage mean? Refers to an unearned benefit a player gets purely because of how they're placed in the bracket, not because of skill or performance. You didn't play better, you just got lucky in the order. Okay. So if the finalists are A, B, and C, and you randomly decide who goes first or who gets a bye, that choice can give someone an advantage. Example, match A v B, and then winner fights C. So here's the advantage may appear. C enters fresh, A or B may be, a bit fatigued. That's fine. It came from random placement. It's random seeing advantage. Why this matters in a 1v1, it's a lot to do with mentality and things like that. Okay. So getting a bye whilst others fight is always fighting last, facing a fatigued or wounded opponent, always avoiding certain matchups due to order, all without earning it through prior performance. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Round robin, everyone fights everyone. Sudden death rules that rotate advantage. No one fights. Fatigue is distributed evenly. No player benefits from lucky placements. Yeah, so this is why. Yeah, you just, to be honest, like I feel like randomized is going to be the best way forward, because this is kind of like a mock-up tournament. I'm sure we could do like the winners of the previous max and things like that all kind of go together, but like I think this is just the second time they've done the tournament, and it was the easiest way just to kind of whack it all together. Um, yeah, the main issue is just the numbers, to be honest. I think I'd be open to looking at different options with regards to how to choose who's in the MAC tournament, whatever. Um, yeah, like that's the thing, right? RNG, yeah, it's going to be the best. The reality is, right, you're going to have a situation where like you can't make everyone happy. Like someone's going to be pissed off about something. The way that I see it is, I would rather I have one person that's pissed off out of the finalists. In the final, there's three people. At the start of the tournament, there's 24, of which you're potentially going to piss off eight people, right? Out of the three in the finalists, you're only going to have arguably one person that's pissed off. So I would say 1 versus 8 is the way I'd look at this. Am I going to piss off eight people, or will I potentially piss off one person? But with one person, it's 50-50. They're either going to be pissed off or they're not. With eight people, it's a lot harder to manage how many people are going to be pissed off. That's how I see it. So I'd rather just say for the finalists, and we can tell people ahead of time, because if you precursor it to everyone, then people know if you get to the final, right, you may have an extra fight if you've gone and done 50 hours or something daft. But then you start being strategic and go, I need to keep my hours down if that's the case. Yeah, well, this is it. This is why I'm saying, right, lowest play time. It means people need to start being strategic. That's like, and that is for the whole tournament. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have it where you've got someone who's got, I've done 60 hours on my character. So now I'm gonna like I've got all the best gear possible. You're like, well, what if you go to the final and you've got all the best gear possible because you've been boosting or whatever, like not in this case, but you've been like sweating it out versus let's say for instance someone like Vanity who doesn't have all the time in the world to play. He's got his kid. You want to make it fair that way as well. So you say, well, you can go and get all of the extra stuff you want, X, Y, and Z, but in the final, because of the numbers, we want everyone to participate and have fun in the MAC tournament. That's the point. We just say, well, whoever's got the lowest play time doesn't go first out of the three. And that's how I would look at it. And I would say that arguably the person with the lowest play time has got the least advantage. So that's the only way that I can look at it because everything else is going to be random. Is the problem? That's the only thing that's not random is how long have you spent building out this character? But I'm gonna go bio quickly. I'm gonna make another coffee and then yeah, I'll probably be around for the next maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. We can sit and chat and talk things out. I might hop on a WoW character for a little bit, and then I've got to go get the cats. What I could actually do is I can actually build out what the 4x4 tournament might look like and go from there. It wouldn't take long, maybe about half an hour, but we can talk it through. Right, give me a sec. I'm just going to make a coffee and then I'll switch everything back to the normal camera structures and stuff. And then what we can do is I'll show you guys what I'm going to be doing, building out the formula for it. Let's get a coffee on the go. Jesus, I'm about to pull the chair in. I've got the whiteboard was there. Right. Whiteboard is out the way. Right. Let's get the ears on. Let's do water here. Right. Get some hydration in. Let's swap these cameras over. Tidy up all the chat here. So what have we got to fix? Audio input, we're going to remove that. And turn the normal mic on. We're going to turn this camera off and put my camera on. Let me know what your thoughts are about using the whiteboard and stuff. Like, if I can get a better camera set up and maybe a better location for it, might be a good way of doing it. Right, let's do. Let's stick this here. What that was. Oh, that's fine. Right, we'll get rid of that camera. Stick this in the corner here. Get a little poach cam going. Right, there we go. And then let's fix this. Right. How are we doing? Can everyone hear me okay? Let's get this over here. Tidy this up. Get coffee out of the way. Right, so we've got tie-breaking tournament. We'll clear that up. Good stuff, good stuff. There's an app you can use that works as a whiteboard. I mean, potentially, I like to write on a whiteboard, to be honest. I think I like the interactivity of it all. So what we're going to look at is, firstly, let's get some music playing because it's a little bit quiet in here. It's a little bit quiet in here. See if I can do on here. And let's stick what's this one? This is Atlas Audio. Add this in, see if it is an option. Right. on. We stick it on Google. All right. So we just get YouTube audio going. I'm sure it'll pull through there. Right, we got music on your guys' side. Stream ended again. Fucking nightmare, mate. Honestly, nightmare. This is the issue I've got, is like dealing with the internet. I've been waiting for the internet guy to come around all day. I think they turned up. They turned up at like 10 to 11. Yeah, we got music. Nice. Yeah, they turned up about 10 to 11, and we'd just literally just gone out for breakfast. Right, let's do this. Right, I think that'll do. Can everyone see? Is it going again? Fucking hell! What is going on with this internet?